Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Board YouTube channel for Pick and Roll, the NBA discussion and betting show that goes live every weekday around 11:20 a.m. Eastern Time for, of course, those NBA free picks and discussion pieces on trending topics around the league. And as always, I'd like to open up with the recap of yesterday's plays. Before we do that, please make sure you drop a like on this stream if you find yourself enjoying along the way, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Help us on the road to 1,000 subscribers. You get notified or you get updated whenever we go live on this channel for those free picks. But let's get into the recap from yesterday's bets. And it was unfortunate, a split day here. We had two same game parlays. The first one involving two Brooklyn players really had no legs. Second play involving AD and Tyus Jones is a winner, which brings the record to 104-78 on the season, up 14.5 units. And I will say, we had some issues with the second same game parlay because the line moved off. Thankfully, it did, because the original bet would not have been a winner. The changed bet is a winner, and it is a split day over here. Pips, your thoughts on these two bets and how they went down?
So I'll say maybe the Houston Rockets bet was kind of not great, because when the game started, when I saw like first couple of possessions, I just knew like, okay, this one will be tough, because Spencer Dinwiddie wasn't there to pass the ball
He
like
scored
at
a lot.
all. Yeah, he was getting back his points buckets. Yeah, he and also Cameron Johnson was poor shooting, so he end up not playing in the fourth. Missed so many shots. Like I think he was 2 for 9. I think he was 2 for 9. So yeah, that's not something I expected. And in the end, Dinwiddie took so many shots, and yeah, it was Mikael Bridges and Spencer Dinwiddie show against the Houston Rockets. I was thinking like, okay, they will be up the entire game. Spencer Dinwiddie is known that he doesn't force a lot when they are up, when teams are up, and yeah, that's it. Nothing to do it like that.
So we'll move into today's bets. Unfortunate 1-1. It has been a winning week so far, 2-1 on the week, and there are two official plays for today's for today's show. Let's get into them now. Make sure we get those lines in. So two official bets, going first of all to the Bulls and the Nuggets. This is a play that Pips has grown very fond of recently, and it is Jokic on the assist line, paired with 7.5 assists, paired with Michael Porter Jr. over 2.5 threes. This one is available. Also, there is the 3+. I believe it is. I don't know if there's two sections, but it's either 3+ or over 2.5 threes from Michael Porter Jr. Just make sure
Yeah,
you're checking for the
three
milestone
plus
lines.
is
Yeah,
yeah.
make sure you're checking for those milestone lines. But plus 100 at DraftKings. I would say that typically when this play is given out, it is gone very quickly. So get this one in while you can. Second play, some graphs will show. Second play is in the Mavericks game against the Pelicans. Pelicans in dire need of some wins here to even get into the play-in tournament at this point. And two key players that could factor into that are Brandon Ingram over 23.5 points, paired with Jonas Valanciunas 10+ points. Again, this one is on the milestones line. When you're on DraftKings, there are 2 seconds for player props. Want to remind you guys, so make sure you check the second one for JV here. 10+ points, minus 110 odds at DraftKings. So two DraftKings plays here to get us going for the show. And Pips, let's get started with the first play. Jokic on the assist, Porter on the threes. Again, this is one that you have really grown fond of, and why don't you take it away?
So this is standard bet against the Chicago Bulls. Main creator over on assist, and best shooter, wing shooter over on threes. That had great success over throughout the season. The first game they played this season, it was early into the season. I think it was like 3 weeks in the season. These two teams played, and Jokic had 14 assists, which is 14 assists on the road. So that. I'll just explain how significant that is. He had 14 assists on the road, with Michael Porter Jr. scoring 6 threes. So almost and it was a blowout. So these guys, if they got the minutes, they will clear their lines by double digits. Like I think if Jokic had played in the fourth, he will get to the 16 assists
Wow.
probably. And Porter Jr. had six threes in three quarters, so that's huge. Uh, that's the thing that Chicago Bulls is doing, over helping inside, and they will throw bodies at Jokic. They're just poor on defense. And with Beverly and Caruso's probably starting, maybe they go to they're changing depending on the matchup. So I could see like Patrick Williams starting tonight, but no matter what, Jamal Murray is in a difficult matchup. Jokic, I don't think Jokic will force anything. So it's down to Michael Porter Jr. to just shoot the lights out. And yeah, this is just too good of a matchup to not use this. And you can show the graphs; it looks perfect. So this is Jokic at home. So very interesting thing with Jokic is, as we can see, his average at home is 11.2. So that's his average assist at home. And if you take a look at away, same number of games, he had 8.5. So like 11.2 assist average at home and 8.5 away. That's almost like that's 2.7 difference between home and away split for Nikola Jokic. And he had 14 assists against the Bulls in the last game away from home. So like he's doing way worse on away with assists, and he had away for 14 assists the balls. So I just think the bigger part of this bet is obviously Michael Porter Jr. So if you take a look at this, Michael Porter Jr. This is Michael Porter Jr. Last 10 games at home. And yeah, this is just unbelievable. He's shooting the lights out,
Yeah.
and this is probably the best matchup. Yeah, and this is probably the best matchup out of all these so far. So he cleared the 9 of the last 10, and if you take a look at the data, Bulls are probably the best matchup for him. So no one able to guard him one on one. So no one like it's Lavine, it's DeRozan. Even Patrick Williams is not great at chasing guys around, so he has a good matchup. Bulls overall allowing third most threes over the last 15 games, so that's great. So everything looks great. The only game he didn't cover, it was a blowout against the Memphis in the last quarter where he shot 2 for 7. So yeah, just and it was Dylan Brooks matchup, and that's not easy for anyone. So yeah, I just think this is great spot to bet Michael Porter Jr. with Jokic combined.
So, reminder on this one, the Jokic assist line. This is a play that has been on the show a couple times. This one can go quickly. So, always encourage the viewers and listeners to come on the YouTube and watch us live here. And you can join guys like Matt getting into plays at the correct line at the right price, nice and early. But let's move now into the second official bet. We're going to the New Orleans Pelicans. We were both very high on the Pelicans, and injuries mixed with a whole host of issues has really derailed their season here. But you're backing two other players to go over on their points here. Take us through their matchup with the Mavericks.
So this one is similar to Michael Porter Jr. I would say because it's a matchup thing. I think everyone in the world watched the Phoenix Suns. Everyone that follows NBA watched the Suns game against the Mavericks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and everyone saw like they were triple teaming KD on every possession in his court 37. I would say Ingram is like the light version of KD, like
Yeah.
size, sh- the way he's shooting mid range, like everything of Ingram it reminds us of KD, and he's the light version. So if they didn't have anyone to even slow down KD and double team him like every time he touched the ball, the basketball, Ingram will do the same. And thing is, Ingram will probably have higher usage because KD is not the guy that will force stuff so much, but Ingram is like if KD didn't have amazing scoring, there are still Ayton. There is still Booker that will score like 30 points. With the Pelicans, it's either Ingram scores or it's CJ, and CJ lately isn't scoring great. Like he's averaging by 20 points, so it's down to Ingram to just be very aggressive. And also Dallas Mavericks defense very poor since the trade. Like last game we saw Mark Lowry scoring 33. Even Taylor Horton Tucker had 24 points in that game. Game earlier we saw KD and Booker 37, 36. So in the same game we had two guys scoring 36, 37 points. Game before that they played against the 76ers. We had Maxi 29, Harden 27, and Embiid 35. Everyone covering this line. Game earlier, Tyrese Halliburton had 32. So like they are the third worst. They are allowing the third most points over the since the trade, Dallas Mavericks. And as I said, they don't have any size to guard him, and he will just shoot over everyone and get to the line. And yeah, I just think this is unbelievable
Yeah.
matchup for him.
No Finney
And with,
Smith. No Finney Smith. Like there's just nobody put on this type of player, and that's a
yes.
big loss.
And another thing is Jonas last game against the Kings played 32 minutes. So with him like playing huge minutes, I think you can show the graph for Jonas. That's the graph showing Jonas minutes. Jonas clearing rate when he gets the 24 or more minutes. As you can see, he cleared out in 36 out of 38 games, and most of the time he cleared way above the line. He averages 17 points, and that's some game including Zion, and there is no Larry Nance Jr. So Jonas should get the decent minutes, and with them not being able to defend, uh, not having great defensive players for the guarding Ingram and CJ, they will probably overcommit, and that will open up a lot of space for Jonas also. But the bigger part of this bet is Brandon Ingram, and we can see over the last 10 games he covered this line in 8, average 27.5, and great matchup against poor defense in a hard pace with no one being able to guard him and him being very aggressive. He should be able to cover this line only unless he shots like 5 from 20 or something.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. Look, like the play here, some good matchups for those spots. We'll recap them at the end of the show. Before we do that, of course, we always like to bring in some additional discussion into this. And we've talked a lot about the Western Conference. And every time we talk about the West, we talk about the Sacramento Kings. When we talk about the Sacramento Kings, we kind of brush them off as like, oh, this unserious team near the top of the West. All of a sudden, the Kings are now in the 2 seed in the NBA's Western Conference. With the issues going on in Memphis, it's possible they remain as the 2 seed here. And yeah, I wouldn't say they get a favorable matchup in the first round because you could still end up with like the Clippers, the Warriors, still a lot of good teams there. But they're the 2 seed. They've been playing very, very well. There was expectation that yes, they would improve this season, but definitely not to this degree. It has Mike Brown, last time I checked, as the favorite to win Coach of the Year. All that being said, when it comes to the playoffs, Pips, do you think they are an actual threat to any team here? Or is this the team that everybody lower in the West, they want to get this team first round?
I think Suns could get in the second spot till the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
They are 2.5 weeks away, so you could
Yeah,
see Kings probably in the third spot or in the fourth. It will be like third or for in my opinion, third or the fourth spot, which still doesn't make anything. Like they probably have home advantage, and like you won't be able to know who is in fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth spot till the playing is over or the last game of the regular season. So that I don't think that really matters because it's like you are not don't have any say in who are you going to play in the first round, no matter what place you finish. But I'll say that Kings are it's De'Aaron Fox, like he's having so underrated season that it's unbelievable because he will just be there on the floor play the game, and then the fourth quarter, when the fourth quarter comes, like he'll just score like 15 points every night, day in day out, like unbelievable scoring when he decides to be aggressive. So they won a ton of close games because yeah, the iron is unbelievable.
Clutch.
They
He's so
have
clutch.
yeah, Sabonis is great with everything. They have some great shooters, all around great offensive team. But that's it, offensive team. So and also they have the great coach. Like I spoke about it like a couple of times on the show. Like the way he just adjusts during the game and exploits the weaknesses of the opponent, he will just find something that works and he will just spam it all the time, like in kill you in that thing. And that's a plus for the playoffs, and because that's very important in the playoffs. But I still don't think they are able to guard anyone, and that's very important in the playoffs. Out of 16 teams that go into the playoffs, I'll say like for 100% that Kings will have the worst defense, and I think that's a big issue. Of
Yep.
course, you can outscore opponents, but you need to get some stops, and that will be the issue. Like they don't have any like five negative defenders on the starting five. Like no one able to guard. The coach is doing great with some adjustments throughout the games to stop opponents, to do something like with schemes and everything. But still, it's a playoff time, I think they will have very so many problems with defense, and also all other teams will just try harder. Like Kings are playing out of the world, but they are playing like 100% in every game so far this season, and that's the thing. Like I don't know, you remember when the Hawks when in the East killing everyone in the regular season, and then when it's time for like when you have like everyone like zoned in the playoffs, like you lose that advantage. I would say like Kings. I was also like Knicks 2 seasons ago. They were just tips playing 40 minutes a game every started and trying very hard in the regular season, and then first round exit in the playoffs. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see that from the Kings. I'm not saying they are not good. They're playing amazing and very interesting to watch, and they're a great team. But I wouldn't be surprised if they were a first round exit, because they need like this off season they need to add some defensive stoppers. I think Harrison Barnes could and needed to be traded like this trade deadline. Like
Mm.
they can get like someone 3 and D guy for him or in his spot, and that will help this team a lot. At least some point of attack defender. And Harrison Barnes is a great role player. I'll say like he's a great role player. He can get you buckets. He can like do something. But I don't think this Kings team needs him, and I think he is the player that's easy to replace and for better. So that's the
Mm.
thing for the Kings.
Yeah, interesting. I like the points you make on the Kings there. Uh, let's kind of play a game here with the Kings. So they're the 2 seed right now. Let's say the NBA season ended today. The Timberwolves and Clippers would be playing in the play-in tournament game that would decide who plays the Kings as the 2 seed. What would you set the line at for the series if they were playing the Timberwolves? And what would you set the line at for the series playing the Clippers? If you can kind of guess or estimate that.
If Kings are playing the Wolves, I'll say I'll say probably Kings winning in 6 or 7, but I'll have Kings winning. If they're playing the Clippers, yeah, I don't know. I'm not high on Clippers or since the Westbrook trade. They're playing so out of like their pace is not suitable for these players, and their defense is terrible. I don't know how can you have like so many positive defensive players and bit so poor on defense.
Yeah.
So I don't actually know. Like in that series, I could see like Clippers winning and I could see Kings winning, which is
The
kind of
Clippers would be
interesting.
favored in that series. I think
Yeah,
the
for
Clippers
sure.
would be like
Like
minus
I think that
140,
yeah, I think it's even higher.
like
I will think
40 to 70. I was thinking.
yeah, and I'll see that will be value on the Kings in that series.
I
Yeah,
agree. That's
yeah,
something I was gonna say. I think
yeah,
that I always feel like the Clippers, like the Nets before they traded KD and Kyrie, the Clippers, the Lakers are always very, very overrated in some of these series markets, and like they're to make the playoff markets. Like it was crazy. The Brooklyn Nets to win the championship were they were like the 7th, 8th seed last season. They were one of the favorites to win the championship. They were a top 3, 4 favorites to win the championship all throughout the year. And then the sports books realized like, oh, they're not even going to make the playoffs, so we should probably change that. Unfortunately, no markets on some stuff like that. But yeah, I think the Clippers will be favored. But I think I would like to take a stab on the Kings at the right price there, though I don't think
yeah.
they'd win that series. If the price is right, that'd be an interesting one. But I like the insight on the Kings there. Let's see how they fare for the rest of the season. It's an exciting time. They haven't made the playoffs since what, 2006. The home crowd is rocking. They have an excellent crowd, excellent home court advantage. They're going to have seemingly home court advantage for the playoffs. So I think Kings fans are just happy to be in the playoffs. But if that team wins this series, oh man, watch out. All right, let's get into the recap of today's bets. 2 official plays for today. Pretty good slate for the NBA today on a Wednesday. First of all, we are going to the Bulls and Nuggets for a play that has become pretty popular on the show here. Jokic over 7.5 assists paired with Michael Porter Jr. over 2.5 threes, or 3+ threes on the milestone line there. Plus 100 odds at DraftKings. Hopefully you guys can still get this one. We encourage you, as always, to come watch the show live here around 11:20 a.m. Eastern time to ensure you get the right prices. And the second play, Mavericks at Pelicans. Pelicans need a win, going with Brandon Ingram over 23.5 points and Jonas Valanciunas 10+ points. Once again, that is on the milestone line for JV, minus 120 at DraftKings. That has been your show. If you want to catch more content from myself, I'm going live on the Hammer HQ YouTube channel for
I need to
Champions
say
League
like
watch party. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
just checked this second parlay Jokic and Jamal Murray. Not Jamal Murray,
Michael
Michael
Porter
Porter
Jr.
Jr. Okay, so I screwed it up. Sorry, I thought it was plus 110, but 110, but it's I clicked on Murray, not Michael
Okay.
Porter Jr. So sorry, guys. Like,
Disregard. All right. As I was saying, I'm going to be live on the Hammer HQ YouTube channel at 2:45 p.m. Eastern time to watch along the Champions League games. I'll be joined by Joey Kanish, Rob Pizzola, Alex Moretto for that one. If you want more sports betting content and you're a fan of soccer, but if you're a fan of basketball, make sure you subscribe to the Board YouTube channel. We go live every weekday right here, and we give out picks. Pips gives out his picks. We go through some discussion topics. So get along for the ride by subscribing. Rate and review 5 stars on podcast if you're listening over there. Drop a like on this stream if you enjoyed, and we'll see you tomorrow for more from Pick and Roll.